Welcome to another Leepa Live sports show where we're pretty much from the fans' perspective this week and every week. It's one of them great shows, so get ready for another Leepa Live sports talk. What's happening this Sunday morning, everybody out there? Chris over here in the studio with me today. Chris, how's this going?
Hey, I'm coming off a big Thursday win for my Patriots. There are going to be some great games today. I'm excited to see this Jacksonville KC game. I think the Green Bay Detroit game is going to be a good one. I think the Atlanta Pittsburgh game is going to be a throwdown, knock them out kind of game. I'm excited to see that. The Vikings Eagles, I'm excited to see. The Rams Seahawks, I'm excited to see. So we're in for some good football today. It's going to be a good day to be on the couch watching some football today.
On the couch with some nachos and maybe some wings and maybe some pizza and kicking them back. That's what it's all about today. Yeah, there's exciting games on today. I'm looking forward to a lot of them. And I'll tell you, it's hard to pick a lot of these games. It seems like we would have a little better idea, but it's really hard to pick some of these games and these matchups today.
This is the kind of week where you could go, what is there, 15 games, 2-13 or 13-2. Just depends how the ball drops, I guess. I made my picks on Thursday night, and I've already switched one of them, and I wouldn't be surprised if I switched another one.
You're switching them up.
I had to switch it up. I did a little bit of research, looking at today's show and looking at these games, and I have one. It might surprise you that I changed it. We'll see later on in the show.
I like that. A little surprise. There's a couple of them I'm looking at potentially changing, and it's exactly that. It's so close. The game is so close that it doesn't even matter. I mean, I have no idea who's going to show up on some of these teams is part of the problem with that. Chris, we had exciting things going on. One of the most exciting things that happened, if everybody's been watching and following the Leepa Live show, is Murphman is 5-0. He picked another winner. He's 5-0. If everybody's paying attention and following this show, like you see in the picture there, Murphman has a red cup in front of him, and we put two cups on the floor, and Murphman picks, through the two cups on basically he knocks one of the cups over and there's helmets over there. I could probably show you a short video. Do I have it here? Let's see. Murphman pick week 5 right here. I do have it. And I think I can probably fast forward to the spot that he gets it in. And then no, I can't. Nice try, John.
Well, you're looking at that. Let's just kind of that Patriots-Colts game, when Murph picked it up, I knew he was going 5-0. I didn't think the Patriots were going to lose that game at home to the Indianapolis Colts. That game was pretty much what we expected. I did think it was.
You didn't think the Patriots were going to lose to the Lions.
I did not. But I did think the Patriots are going to blow out the Colts, and they didn't blow them out. But the Colts were never in that game.
They wanted to be in it.
Well, they want to be in every game, but they're not.
So they were making they made it interesting. Brady had to get off the bench and start pacing a little bit.
You know what? I don't think they were ever worried in that game. Brady was calm, cool, collected, got his team fired up like he does. I was kind of talking about that a little bit earlier. You're the Stafford fan and think he's a great quarterback. He's not known for firing up his team on the sidelines. He's going to go out there and show everybody how tough he is and how he can get the job done. But he needs to demand a little bit more from his offensive players, kind of like Brady does. Brady controls that team on offense. You make the wrong cut or don't go far. You miss a step on one of your routes. Brady's going to let you know it. He's going to have your ear, and you're yelling in your ear that you gotta do your job and get it right next time. He is a perfectionist by far.
I noticed that, and I see that, and it is something that is one of the traits in Brady. He definitely is 100% a team leader, and he's not a quiet guy on the sideline. He's an in-your-face guy when things aren't going his way. But you're right. If you drop a pass by Brady, he'll probably walk up and go like this. I'll give you one more shot at that. And after that, I'll throw the ball to Gronk. I'll throw the ball to Edelman. Okay, win the game with these two guys. But if you want to play with Brady, you got to step up. A milestone, by the way, for Brady. Not that he didn't have his name etched in there with the greats. He's called the GOAT for a reason, but 500 touchdowns is a pretty big statement. And interesting enough, Gordon comes in there and he's the man that caught the 500th touchdown. That's got to be quite the honor.
And John, I don't know the stat to this, but who did he beat? Marino? To be honest, I have no idea. You might not know either. We need our intern.
No, back. I do know that he's in there with Favre. Okay,
Favre and Breeze is right behind him,
and I believe he might be in there with Peyton, and I can't be 100% sure on that. You're gonna have to do. You know what we forgot to do?
What did we forget to do?
Well, because we're not used to having an intern. That's what we need. We need people. Because this is the show for the fans, and we say this all the time. That's the birth of this show was because we talk sports all the time anyway, being football fans or sports fans, and that's what actually was the birth of the show. Is that this is a sports show from the fans' perspective. What we need is fans that are involved in chiming in and throwing us these stats to keep this show just cruising along, riding the wave. Right. But anyway, Chris, I'm sure you got the stat.
And Peyton Manning has the most touchdowns at 539.
Okay, so I was right on Peyton.
Brett Favre's 508.
I was right on that.
So Brady will catch him. Drew Brees is at 496.
That's what I almost forgot. Drew Brees he could get his 500 this week. Another wow.
And after Drew Brees is in fourth place. In fifth place is Dan Marino with 420.
Yeah.
That's a big difference, considering Hall of Famer Marino that he is.
So I was right with the two I said. There was only two.
Yeah, well, and then
it's Favre and it's Manning.
Yeah, and then I did say Breeze, so and Marino. So we did have the top five. But in my next stat I want to look at is see how many different players those quarterbacks threw touchdowns to.
Oh, man, quit your little that. You got to always make Brady be the guy who, but he's so much better because of this.
No, I'm not saying that he's better but to throw it to 71 different receivers. I mean, one of them was Mike Vrabel, the coach for the Titans right now.
That's because their football team's a junkyard.
Whose football team's a junkyard?
The New England Patriots. You can be but you can get sent to the junkyard, and the Patriots will grab you and go, "Hey, come on over here."
Yeah, it's a next man up. Hey, if you can't do the job, you're gone. Look at the turnover that this roster gets. They're looking for the best players for the best team against the team they're playing. They're not just thinking the whole season. They'll cut you and bring in somebody else just because they think they'll play better against the other team that you're playing against the team that you're playing.
Wow, that's cutthroat. That's cutthroat football.
Hey, but you know what? It's working for them. It is working for them. But 71 different different receivers. That's a lot of players. It is. I mean, what's that? 18 years he's been playing.
Oh, don't start doing the math. Don't start doing math, man. Don't start doing math in here right now.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to confuse you. 2 plus 2 is 4.
Now we're gonna have to open up computers and calculators and everything like that, and we're gonna have a mathematician on here for the intern.
But let's not talk all about the Patriots because there are so many good games today.
We had to talk about the fact that the guy gets 500 touchdowns. He's one of 3 quarterbacks now, and that's a huge stat. Everybody calls him the GOAT. And will he be the best ever all time stat-wise? Obviously, they call him a GOAT for a reason. And when you look at the guy at 41 years old, wow. The ball's there. I mean, the ball's there. The velocity's there. The energy's there. The will to win is there. You don't see a drop in Brady's talent at all. If anything, and it's actually kind of scary to me. Brady's gotten better.
Yeah, as he's gotten
He's
older,
gotten better. His short game is just crazy good, and that's the scary thing. Is a couple years back when he said he wanted to play 5 years, I was like, yeah, right. But when you look at this guy passing the ball, the plays, the defense, reading the defense, getting rid of the ball under high pressure, it's scary.
Rocco's boys, James White's keeping him in these games. I mean,
He is.
he's on pace to rush for over 1,200 or have 1,200 yards overall, which the Patriots haven't done since Curtis Martin was there back in the late 90s. So Brady's third on that list with 500, but I'm going to go make a little bit of a bold prediction here, and that Breeze catches him today. Breeze is only 4 behind him.
Oh, okay, but
I shocked you there a little bit, didn't I?
That took the breath away from me because I don't know if you're saying that Breeze catches him or Breeze enters the 500 club, because for Breeze to actually catch him, he's got to throw how many touchdowns?
4. He's at 496, so he only needs 4. So he
4 to catch.
The only way he doesn't catch them today is if Ingram makes a big impact on the game, on the running game. They're scoring like crazy without Ingram.
They are.
And Kamara getting the ball.
Let's wait on that. Let's wait on that for.
That's just a Monday night game, so we'll wait on that.
But we'll get into that whole thing right there. All right, Chris. If you want, we can start running down some of these games. And before we do, I just real quick, like we have to do on the show all the time, I want to let you know one more time. Once again, yes, Murphman was the winner. Okay, again, he was a winner. He's now 5-0 on his picks. You guys know you can find him on Facebook, right? I know you guys know that. So everything about it, pretty much, I want you to know that if you have not yet become part of the show and you want to be part of the show, then really what you want to do is you want to follow us. Where are you going to follow us? You're going to follow us on Facebook. You can like our Facebook page at Leepa Live. Okay. You can register to be part of the show at leapalive.com. It's very simple and easy. That way we don't get these scammers and spam that are coming onto our show and want to talk about it absolutely zero to do with sports. And obviously we want to avoid that. And so if you want to be part of the show and you'd like to call in, and I don't care who you're for, what you got to say if you're talking sports. You can agree with me. You can call me a dummy. Anything you want, agree or disagree. Me and Chris got pretty thick skin, so you're not going to offend me. In fact, the more you try to offend me, I don't know why, but it gets funnier and funnier to me. So, leapalive.com. There you go. Search Leepa Live on YouTube. You can watch the show from YouTube. If you want to find Murphman, you got to go every Thursday, every Sunday. Tune in at 7:30 p.m. on Thursdays and 10:30 a.m. on Monday or Sundays. There he is, Murphman. Chris,
the myth, the legend.
Can you imagine this guy being absolutely as good as he is?
Let's see. Who's the week 6 game?
Week 6 for Murph?
Thursday, yeah.
Well, you're getting a little bit ahead of yourself.
I'm so excited for Murph, man.
You are. Let's start running down the line, Chris. There he is one more time. You're so excited about him. I know that you are. So there he is one more time. Chris, let's start running down the line here. We got the Titans at the Bills.
Yeah, I mean, this game, it's, Mariota is looking like he's being the quarterback people expected him to be. The Bills are in a downward spiral. They're making the AFC East look like garbage again. I'm going to take the Titans in that one. There's not much to talk about in this one, really, I don't think. I think the Titans are a better D. They're a better offense. Even though the Bills are at home, the only thing to watch there is the Bills Mafia in the parking lot.
Watch out for the Bills Mafia. I think this is an easy pick, too. I mean, you do have Buffalo that's at home, but with the way Buffalo's performing and everything, they had one good game. Yeah, I'll give them that. They had one good game at the right time. But you're right, Chris. Mariota is looking like the quarterback they drafted and wanted it, and he's the guy's good. He's quick on his feet and he can get rid of the ball. So I'm thinking they pretty much run over them. Uh, as far as the Bills' defense goes, I feel pretty like they're in the middle, but their offense is pretty much the worst. And the defense on the Titans, they could get a little bit better and make it winning for them a little bit easier. But we'll see how they tune that in as the season moves along. But that seems like an easy one to me as well, Chris. So I'm also go ahead, Chris.
We talked a little bit about fantasy when we were doing Sunday's show, and let me just piggyback on that from last week and what you're talking about. I think one of the matchups to watch today is the Bills' Calvin Benjamin against Malcolm Butler, who you love talking about, John, the old Patriots cornerback who hasn't been doing very well this season. You could look for them to throw the ball a lot to Calvin Benjamin today, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in that matchup.
I'm sorry. Say again. Now you're looking for the matchup with who?
Kelvin Benjamin, the wide receiver for Buffalo,
right.
And Malcolm Butler.
And you think they're coming after Malcolm?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? His stats have been horrible this year. I mean, he's getting beaten left and right. So why not go after him until he can prove that he can be the player that he was when he was with the Pats pre-Super Bowl of 2017 or 18 Super Bowl.
Interesting. Hey, Chris, as we go down and through some of these games, let's just give a little preview, but not yet say who we're picking.
Okay.
And because if we get some callers in and we can kind of tag along with everybody. So let's just do some quick previews of these games. And then at that point,
I'll probably let a couple slip, though. I'm so excited for these games.
You do what?
I'll probably let a couple slip. I'll admit it. I can keep it away from the F-bombs, but I don't know if I cannot say who I think's going to win a game. We'll see. Well, I'll try.
It is. Well, let's move along then and think of it in that way. The Falcons at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Wow, what a game here, Chris. What's up with this?
Yeah, this game I think is going to be is really interesting. Is that the loser will only have one win. You know, you look at these two teams, and I had them both going into the playoffs, and I thought the Falcons were going to be a NFC champion, and it's still early. There's a lot of games to be played, but the team that loses is going to have a tough road ahead of them. I haven't been impressed with Pittsburgh this year. I'm a Patriots fan, which we all know, so I'm not a huge Steelers fan. But it's in the past their defense has kept them in games, and Ben Roethlisberger has been able to win them games because he has a good defense. And we're finding now that his defense is not as good without Shazier, and he's still winning games. I mean, he's only won one game, but he's keeping them in these games, and he needs that defense to step up for them.
I agree with you 100%, and I also agree with you that the total unexpected start for both of these teams. You're right. We're talking the Falcons, and we're talking Pittsburgh, and whoever loses this game, it has one win.
I hate that's so stupid because of ties, but whatever. But you look at these two teams and look at the schedules they've played. Pittsburgh tied Cleveland. They lost to KC, who's everyone's losing to. They almost lost to Tampa. They should have probably lost to Tampa. And they lost to Baltimore. So that's not an easy schedule, but it's not a hard schedule.
Right.
Then you look at the Falcons on the other hand. They lost to Philly. They lost to New Orleans. And they lost to Cincy. And their sole winning game was against Carolina. Those are 4 playoff caliber teams. I mean, I had all 4 of those teams going to the playoffs, and we won't pick it, but you got Matty Ice there. That's got Calvin Ridley, Devontae Freeman's coming back in this game to be the running back. Julio Jones, Pittsburgh's defense. It's going to be a good game. I don't think it's whoever wins this game is going to win by 3 or 4 points.
Right, and I agree with you. I tell you what, it's actually on paper. It's a great matchup. You're talking about the offense. You have Atlanta Falcons ranked 7th and the Pittsburgh Steelers ranked 6th. Okay, defense. You've got Atlanta Falcons ranked 28th. I think that says a lot.
Yeah.
And you have the Pittsburgh Steelers ranked 30th. Wow. Can you believe that?
And I hate it because it's because of injury. But when Ryan Shazier went down, and I'm hoping pronouncing that right, they're not as good a team as they were when they had him in.
Right. Well, with that, look, you got both of these defenses that are horrible on paper, horrible, and stats matter. You know that, but I think that explains a lot to us. Yeah, it's more entertaining having these fast, high-powered offenses putting a lot of points up on the board, but that can turn on you in a second. From the beginning of the time, defense won games, and defense are still supposed to, but the league has changed and we're not seeing that as much anymore. Instead, what we're seeing is these high-powered offenses, entertainment, putting a lot of points up on the board, and there you have it. Now, as far as passing goes, Pittsburgh has the edge. They're ranked third to Atlanta sixth. But like you just said, with a healthy receiving core, that's not even going to matter at all. Rushing, you're pretty much close on that too. 21st versus 29th. The Falcons ranked 21 in rushing, but I don't think that'll be the case in the weeks to come. I think that the Atlanta Falcons rushing game is going to come alive in the weeks to come. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, when you look at those two offenses, I mean, if you don't have Ladavian Bell, I'm definitely taking the Falcons offense over the Steelers offense there.
Right. All right, Chris, let's move right along here. You got the Broncos at the Jets.
You know what? I don't know what to say about this game. I mean, there's two quarterbacks. I've said I don't like Darnold. Case Keenum has not impressed at all yet. Denver's D put up a good game against KC. To be honest, this is one of those games where I'm really not sure who's going to win it.
I can't blame you for that right there. And yeah, Darnold came out hot, but he is a rookie quarterback, and he's acting like a rookie quarterback. But this is the point of these two teams is that, again, you're talking about the fact that if it comes down to a defensive game and you're thinking of defensive game, they're not bad on defense, and it's probably the only thing that's keeping the Broncos alive, quite honestly, is their defense. They played a hell of a game against Kansas City. I think they played a hell of a game against Kansas City. You're talking about a really high-powered offense they were up against, and they stayed, somewhat close. For me, I was into the numbers on that one, as you know, Chris. So I wasn't paying so much as how close the game was, but which numbers they ended up with. So, but as far as defense goes on this game, if you're going to lean one way or the other, on paper, the Jets have a better defense. But the last thing I want to do is go up against the Denver defense with Von Miller on that team.
Yeah, but John, one thing you've got to remember on these defensive stats that you're looking at is why are the Jets? What did you say they were ranked?
12th.
They're ranked 12th. Why are they ranked 12th?
It's an overall stat they're giving you.
All right, but does it break it down by passing and rushing? I guarantee you, their passing defense is not as good, is better than their running defense because teams aren't throwing against it because they run it down the gut on this team because they're playing. The Jets are always playing from behind, and the teams are running against them. So what we're seeing is that their defensive stats are showing better than they are because teams are just grinding against them, running out the clock because they have a 14-point lead against this team. The Jets' defense is not as good as that stat is saying.
It's only as good as it is when you're playing the team. Anyway, it's an accumulative percentage that they're putting on there. If you're going to go break down, okay, what are they doing on the run? And then it comes down to a situational defense. What are they doing against this running back versus this running back? Can they handle a running back coming out of the backfield? Are they playing a team that has a running back that can step up and block the blitz? I mean, it's a situational thing. You start getting into stats like that. I'm giving you the league ranking. I'm calling it the way I read it. I'm giving you a league ranking. But, Chris, the difference is this. The real difference is if you're in a high-powered offense era and your offense is ranked 29th, Don't put that on the defense.
No, I totally agree with you that both of these teams are not going anywhere in the NFL this year. They're going to be fighting for that 5-6 um, slot in the draft.
Well,
They're
hey, Denver.
and the only reason they're fighting for 5-6 is because Buffalo is horrible.
Right, but look what we're talking about here. We're talking about, okay, for the Broncos. Okay, we're talking about a team that's 2-2 when we just featured two teams we expected in the playoffs that have one win. So at 2-2, wow, to say a team's not going anywhere, come on now. They can go somewhere with 6 losses, 7 losses.
Yeah, the Broncos need Case Keenum to step up his game and get back to where he was last year with Minnesota. He just hasn't shown that. He has the weapons there in Demaryius Thomas and that new running back they got there. So they've got an offense around him. He needs to step up, not throw as many interceptions.
I agree.
And get the ball in the end zone.
I agree with you, Chris. Let's move on to my favorite game. Jaguars, Chiefs, Chris.
This is the battle for the top team in the AFC right now. I'll put my Patriots behind these three because they're behind these two at 3 because they lost to the Jags. And the one thing I'll say about this game, with not going into my picks, the Jags the Chiefs are going to come into New England next week for Sunday Night Football. If the Jags don't beat them tonight, I think they lose one of these next 2 games the Chiefs do. And obviously I'm hoping it's the Patriots that beat them, but the Patriots have 10 days to prepare for this game. That's a little bit, that the conspiracy theory is there because they're the Patriots. So we got 10 days to prepare for the best team in the AFC right now, but by far the best team in the AFC right now. And typically the Patriots are good when they have that preparation time. They've got a little bit of rest time for their players to get healthy again. Gronk's a little bit banged up. Chung's a little bit banged up. So that'll be an interesting game next week. But in this game, the Jags need to keep Mahomes in the pocket. He threw for 192 yards out of the pocket last week. And this could be the best defense the Chiefs have seen in the Jags right now.
Well, get into those stats. And here's the thing that's scary for the Chiefs. They've started out great. They got exactly what we're talking about. Rocco called it in preseason that this will be the most explosive offense in football this year. Called that one on the dime. They are the most explosive offense that we've seen. They're extremely fun to watch. However, defense, they're ranked 32. And here we go again. Where do those rankings? I mean, is it their pass game, their run game, whatever it is? But here's the thing. That's scary. That's scary right there because you're going against the best defense today in the Jaguars, ranked number 1. If they slow you down just a little bit, I mean, you're going against the number 1 defense. You're right. If they can keep them in the pocket, and that's an amazing stat you pulled out there with 170 yards when he's outside the pocket.
192, yeah.
That's impressive. Wow. And I thank you for that because he did me good last week. That was awesome, and I was excited watching it. But if he's contained, okay, and he is contained, and you take a lot of those yards away right there, the Jaguars are in this game. The offenses are a total different mismatch on it in the way it is, and everybody gives the Jaguars quarterback a lot of crap. They say that he's not a playoff quarterback. Yeah, he is. But anyway,
he needs to play like he's playing against the Patriots. He needs to play like that every week. If he plays like he plays against the Patriots, they win this game. They win this game. He needs to have he doesn't need to have a good game. He needs to have a great game. He needs to step up. Their defense needs to keep hit the KC. It's just like the Patriots. You keep the offense off the field. You got to keep KC's offense off the field, holding some 3 and outs. But then when you have the ball offensively, you need to have long drives that come away with touchdowns, not field goals, touchdowns. That is how you beat the Kansas City Chiefs. You keep their offense off the field.
You're right. Big factor in this game today, and this may make a difference with this Dale Hone. You got the young quarterback, but it's really, to me, this game is going to have a lot to do with who's got bigger hands. And the reason why it is going to be raining. there's going to be fog. There could be a fog on the field today too. Check out the weather report. There's a 90% chance of showers. Could be strong showers today. Hopefully, it's not thunderstorms where they would actually postpone the game. I hope it's not lightning, but it's going to be raining. So, Chris, keep that in mind right now when we're getting ready to do these picks, okay? Because when you're talking about the number one defense out there, you're talking about the game raining. Who's in favor at that point with rain on the field? Who are you going to favor? A high-powered offense or a high-powered defense?
You got to take the running game.
Yeah, you got to.
Is Fournette playing? I forget. I think Fournette is back.
Yeah.
No, Fournette is out.
Fournette's out?
Fournette is out.
But still, look at the difference of all the yards that come in the air for KC. Now, wait, that running, who is that young running back they had? That guy's got a hard head. I'll tell you, I thought he was out of the game last week.
TJ Yeldon for Jacksonville?
Yeah. No, KC.
Oh, Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt.
And they got a couple good running backs there. And sorry, Chris, I can't remember his name, but it's their rookie running back they had came in there.
For KC?
Yes.
It was, what's his name? I'll find it out.
It's right at the tip of my head, but I can't think of it right now. He was taken out of the game for a little bit there. I thought he was doing the concussion protocol. Was it Shelby? It's not Shelby. What is it? Rocco needs to call in the show because he'll tell you right now who it is. Anyway.
There's Spencer Ware and Chandrick West. But they're not rookies. Spencer Ware's not a rookie, I don't think.
Okay. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, Chris, there's another game that we're featured there, and rain could play a big factor. I think it's the game of the day right there. Moving right along. Chris, check this one out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Packers? The Green Bay Packers are at the Detroit D-Town Lions. Chris, what do you think about? I got a lot to say here, but what do you think about this?
This is a game to watch. You got the Packers with Aaron Rodgers, he's 13-3 against Detroit. Matthew Stafford, kind of Phil Simms came out, called him out as a leader this week. So
Phil Simms calling him out as a leader. I don't remember Phil Simms being in anybody's face.
Yeah, he wasn't, but he's got those NFL championships to back his name up a little bit. This game's going to come down to Aaron Rodgers and what he can do with not having any of his receivers to throw the ball to.
Right. Great quarterbacks just put the ball in your numbers and you catch it. The same reason why you say how many 70-plus receivers that Brady's had catching touchdowns is an amazing number, and I think it's because the ball's there. Catch it or goodbye.
Well, let's go back to the Patriots game where you said the Colts were in it. I don't think they were in it, but had the Colts not had 7-8 drop passes, they're in that game.
Absolutely.
They were dropping the ball left and right on Luck and did him no justice. I mean, he had a much better game than his stats showed because he did have 7 or 8 drop passes that were crucial in the games at the time and moment of the game and when it happened.
And Chris, I'm an Andrew Luck fan, and we were watching that game together, and that's what I was saying. And you were giving me a lot of crap. Andrew Luck. He's not this. He's not that. He's not this. He's not as good as you're saying. But, man, the guy can pass the ball, and he was putting it spot on. And that would have been a different game. When I'm talking about the ball being right where it was supposed to be, it was spot on. Even though you say he can't throw the ball more than 15 yards, he was putting it down there on a string at 30. And you know how many times he threw the ball in 2 games?
How many?
Like 100.
Yeah. So with Andrew Luck, it's 2 games ago I forget if it was the end of the game. It was at the end of the game. They put Jacoby Brissett in to throw the long ball, and he threw it out.
You know what I thought about that?
Because you didn't like it, and I said, no, that's a good call because Brissett has an arm to actually get it there. He
ain't got the arm to get nothing. That's why he's on the bench, so he can throw the ball up in the air. I would have much rather had Andrew Luck in there and throw it on the run. Everybody wants to stand in the end zone and wait for it, and all you got to do is knock it down if you're coached right. But why would you do that? Line up, throw it on the run, and let's make a play.
Because we haven't seen Luck do that yet this season. He has not proven that he can throw a ball more than 35 yards. He hasn't. Look at the games. He hasn't been able to throw the long ball. He can't. If he can't throw the long ball, why put him in there to throw a long ball?
Maybe nobody's open.
But he should be winning games with those 30-yard passes. I mean, this game is not derived on everybody throwing the long ball unless you're Tampa Bay when Fitzpatrick's in, which isn't happening anymore. Shame on you, Bucs.
Don't even get me started on that one.
Or Kansas City with the long ball.
Well, you gotta catch it.
Yeah, but they have players that can catch it.
All right,
How in
the hell did we get back to your New England Patriots?
No,
you're acting like
about the Colts.
You're acting like it. You're acting like you want to talk Colts, but you found a way to get it back to your New England Patriots.
I did not. No, wrong. I did not mention the Patriots once in there.
Nice shirt, by the way.
It's playoffs, man. Playoffs. Stats are for losers.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to what we were supposed to be talking
about. Packers,
Lions. Packers come into D-Town, Ford Field, Detroit Lions. I'm not going to tell you anything about my picks on this game yet. Yeah, I mean, you guys
the Green Bay Packers are the Green Bay Packers.
And the Detroit Lions are the Detroit Lions.
Exactly. Rest my case.
I'm a Detroit Lion fan. And, you know, when that doesn't mean I will pick the Detroit Lions to win every game. I don't do that. Only I pick the right time when they're going to beat the New England Patriots and be correct on that. But doesn't mean I'm picking, not that I'm giving away anything about my pick this week and saying, it doesn't mean that I'm going to pick the Lions this week. I'm just saying, being a Detroit Lion fan, I'm also a practical fan, and I know when to be practical about that. Chris,
it's hard to pick against Aaron Rodgers. It is hard to pick against Aaron Rodgers.
It is. I mean, I agree with that 100%. He's a baller. He's hard to pick against. Real quick on the offenses right now, do you know that the Detroit Lions league ranking offense is ranked better than the Green Bay Packers? So how about that? The defenses
are for losers.
Stats are for losers.
The only stat that matters is who wins the game.
That is not true. Say that to Vegas.
Hey, Vegas only cares who wins the game and who wins money.
Stats matter. They do matter. If they did not matter, Brady Patriot would not be the GOAT.
The stat of wins matters, and that's what he does.
Why is he in the 500 league now?
Do you think he cares about that?
Yeah. Did you see the post-game interview?
How
the hell did we get back to the Patriots again?
All right, Packers, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, man.
You keep bringing them in. Keep bringing them in.
You put something in my coffee, man. You put in some sort of the pick.
Right, we're not picking. We got to move on. We can't keep talking about this. So the Ravens play the Patriots in Week 17, and
okay. Stats do matter to me.
They do.
Let's go through it right now. With the defenses are very close. Green Bay Packers league ranking is 6th. Detroit Lions league ranking is 8th. Passing is right there too. Detroit has the edge on offense and passing. Detroit ranked 10th in passing. Green Bay ranked 15th. The rushing game is something that, on paper, when you look at it on paper, this is a close game, Chris. It's a very close game. The Packers only have one more win than Detroit, okay? But what have you ever – I'm not even going to say it because I'm not even going to say who would you expect Green Bay to have beaten this year because of what Detroit did. And we'll be right back where we were 30 seconds ago. We'll keep it cool. Hold on. Zip it. But as far as this game goes right here, Chris, talk to me on this. How do you like the matchup?
I thought I wasn't allowed to tell you who I was going to pick.
But this is packed. Oh, no, you aren't.
How do I like the matchup?
Yeah.
I'll tell you who I think's going to win, so I can't tell you.
Wow.
I'm going to go there. I'm going to say.
You know what? Without bringing the Patriots in, you didn't know what to say.
You know why? I'm going to tell you. I told you I haven't dropped the F-bombs. The reason I don't want to talk about this game is because I want to save it for when we do the picks, because I am taking the Detroit Lions here. I am taking the Detroit Lions to beat the Green Bay Packers today.
Wow!
I don't know if I said it earlier. I know I told you, John. I had a game that I was switching. I'm just looking at this game.
Because you know earlier in the week, when I called my upset of the week, this was my upset game of the week.
Yeah.
And this is the one game you switched.
This is one of the games.
Are you sure you don't want to check your notes again?
You know what? Let me look at my notes right here.
Yeah.
Let's go over this. Devontae Adams, wide receiver for the Packers. Randall Cobb, wide receiver for the Packers.
Wait, time out. Hey, hang on a second. I'm getting a call in here. Let's see here. Good morning and welcome to the Leepa Live Sports Show. Who do we have here?
Yeah, boy, Mario.
Mario! What's going on, Mario?
What's happening, brother?
Not too much, man. Thanks for calling the show.
Oh, yeah.
Mario, I got to tell you, man, the best sauce I've ever had, and I had a many of sauces. That was the best sauce I ever had, brother.
Right now. Heard you guys talking about that Lions game.
You called it the perfect time. Mario is a Detroit boy.
Did you call because you heard me pick the Detroit Lions?
Oh, boy. I just want to say I've never seen so much parity in the NFL in my life.
Yeah, I agree with you, man.
And who knows which way this game goes. Because the Lions will beat the Patriots and then they'll lose to the Jets. You can never tell with the Lions.
This is true, Mario. Mario, I gotta say this because there's a couple of times, your brother Rocco, a regular on the show, he's gone against the Detroit boys. Now, Mario, I'm not sure. Are you involved in a fantasy football league this year?
I am not this year, but I'm on top of it. What's up?
Well, the reason why I'm asking is because I think that a couple times that Rocco went against Detroit was because of some of his fantasy things going on and things of that nature. Do you go with your boys, the Detroit boys? Can you even call them your boys? Or are you more on top of saying, you know what, if they're going to be my home team and I'm going to ride the Detroit Lions, they've got to invest in this team and get the home fans behind them?
I think Detroit is a week-to-week team. Actually, I've never seen Detroit and Green Bay be as equal in talent.
Right. Rocco, Mario, the very first game, I told your brother this last time, the very first football game I went to, NFL game, was the Green Bay Packers at the Detroit Lions. Your mom took me to that game. And that was my very first time I went to a football game, and the first time I got to watch the Green Bay Packers beat the Detroit Lions.
You were lionized deer in the headlights early.
Yeah, I was. I was upset as a youngster. Back in the old Detroit Silverdome, Billy Sims era.
Billy Sims over the bush.
Billy Sims over the bush.
John, I just did some research while you were talking to Mario. It looks like Devontae Adams is going to play in this game. So he is not going to be out his top three wide receivers. He will be out with Randall Cobb is out and Geronimo Allison is out. But you know what? I'm still going to stick with that switch to the Lions.
Hey, Mario, there was a report that Sims, the old Giants quarterback Sims I'm talking about, came out and said that Stafford's not really being the team leader that he should be. He's not being boisterous and pushing and leading this team and getting in the guy's face and being that. What do you think about that as far as Stafford and his team leading skills?
I agree. We've never seen it here. I mean, we watch it all week long, practices and all the talk. And he's not that guy. We don't attract guys like that in Detroit. Barry wasn't that guy. He's not that guy. And they just refuse to get that guy. So that might be a big problem.
But what do you think overall as far as Stafford as a player? Is it so much that Stafford's not the great quarterback you want in Detroit, or that Stafford's never had a great defense that helps him keep these points off the opposing team off the board?
It's both, because Stafford can look like a world beater and then he'll be flipping them sideways and, He's two different guys. It's weird. He's never won a big game ever. So today could be that game. Let's see. It's a big game for Detroit.
All right, Mario. Then what's your pick today?
I gotta go with Detroit.
Yes.
We got 3
I gotta
Detroits.
go with Detroit.
That's my upset pick of the week is Detroit to beat Green Bay. Chris just switched his pick to Detroit. So, yeah, all right, man.
Carry on to the real deal.
Yes, sir.
Let's go back to this Stafford thing. It's, everybody expects that quarterback to be the leader in the locker room because it's the high-profile position. But if you look at Rodgers, he does his leadership by what he does on the field. I don't think he's not a good locker room presence. He can't even get along with his own family, let alone his teammates. You look at Brady. He says that Willie McGinnis was the leader in that locker room. You look at these other quarterbacks. Roethlisberger. James Harrison was the leader in that locker room. Palomalu was a leader in that locker room. Those quarterbacks don't need to be the leadership. They got enough on their plate of trying to dissect defenses. Other players on the Detroit team need to step up into that leadership, and that's what Matt Patricia needs to get. He needs to get that one defensive player, and I don't know their defense well enough to say who that is, but he needs to get someone to just kind of take over that locker room with the Matt Patricia modeled Detroit Lions, not the Detroit Lions of past, and get those guys. And I think they're in good hands with Patricia, that he's learned enough over his years in the NFL that he can kind of structure that team around the leadership and see and knows what good leadership is.
He definitely comes from it. He's seen it. And if anyone should know better than him, you can say Brady wasn't the leader, but on the field he is. When you're on the bench with Brady and he gets to that fever pitch scream of his, everyone's ears go up like a cat. Yeah. That's the difference.
Yeah, and I'm talking Brady when he was younger was not as intense as he is now by any means. I mean, he was still intense and planned on winning every game he played, but it's that the team rallied around him being young. And Detroit, not that Stafford's young anymore, but Detroit always seems to have that one guy that's a star, whether it was Barry Sanders, then it was Calvin Johnson. Right now it's Matthew Stafford. They need more players on that team to step up and help them win games. You can't win games as a one-man show in the NFL. It can't be done. It's a team game.
They'll always be known as a two-quarter team.
Damn it. Mario, what is going to have to change here for this? I mean, really, what has to change? Why don't they put money into this defense to at least keep the score close?
It comes down to drafting. The Lions have never drafted right. They pass on every great player. Some guy might have some problems coming out of college. Detroit doesn't want him. He's going to turn out to be, Hall of Famer.
Can I give you some inside information here that I got? You remember back in the Barry Sanders era, right? And here we got not too much of an argument put up, but arguably the best running back that played football. And to me, that he goes right in there with the Walter Payton, Jim Brown. I guess you got to include Emmitt Smith in that. I wasn't a big Emmitt Smith fan because he wasn't as flashy as that of the Walter Payton and Barry Sanders. To me, it's Walter Payton. You know what I mean?
You got it done. Yeah, well, Sweetness was great. Sweetness
was great and fun to watch. He'd go in the middle of the field. He would go over the top. I mean, this guy didn't wait for the end zone. But anyway, what I'm saying is, I got some info. A cool little story here I'm going to share with you, Rocco. You being the Detroit guy. I was sitting in a local bar and grill over here in Florida, and who's sitting next to me? Wayne Fonts, the coach of the former coach of the Detroit Lions, where he coached in the Barry Sanders era, as you know, where the Detroit almost went to a Super Bowl that year. They beat the Dallas Cowboys in Detroit. What a game. They went to Washington and played on ice, and Barry Sanders didn't bring the right cleats. Ouch.
Right.
But look who our garbage quarterback was, okay?
Mitchell.
Wayne Fonts told me, and I hope this doesn't get Wayne Fonts in trouble. It was an insight, but I'm a sports guy. I'm talking sports. Wayne Fonts said Mitchell was the biggest wuss he ever coached in his football coaching career. He said, look, we had a chance to have a great quarterback, one of the best. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I got a phone call from a quarterback, said he wanted to come play for me, and he wanted to play with Barry Sanders. And Detroit's office, the front office, wouldn't sign him for a fraction more than what they were already paying Mitchell. And I'm saying to Fonts, who? He said, Joe Montana.
There you go.
Just prior to Joe Montana going and finishes his career off in the KC like he did, he wanted to go to Detroit with Barry Sanders. Believe that? Yeah.
That goes back to what I was just saying. You can't do it with one person. Scott Mitchell was good that year. He won me a fantasy championship that year, believe it or not. I was playing fantasy football back then. But
he had a pimp year for sure.
He was the man for 1 year. But you need other players surrounding you, and Detroit just doesn't have that yet.
Mario, let me ask you, since we got you on the show, this was my upset of the week, and you being a homeboy, Detroit boy, I am too, but I haven't lived there in over 20 years. But do you have an upset pick of the week, or is that your upset pick?
I would say this is.
Yeah.
This Detroit is the upset.
Yeah.
For sure.
Awesome. If they can do it for me twice, because I picked an upset earlier in the year that they had. I'm not even going to mention the team they upset, because my co-host gets a chance every second he can to talk about this team, and he'll just go on and on. You might as well call the show the New England Patriots.
That's a good name for it. That'd be a great name for the show.
It's been a long time since we've been more worried about Chicago than Green Bay.
Yeah. With that defense, everybody's a little bit worried about Chicago. And you know what happens? Well, Chris, there you go. One player you say can't change anything. What did one player do on the defense for Chicago?
Khalil Mack, baby.
Yeah, he's changed that defense and that winning attitude around for them, surprisingly.
Yeah.
But we're still only 4 games in. I want to see where we are at week 8 with these teams, because there's so much disparity in what we thought was going to happen this year and what's really happening.
Right.
The Dolphins are leading the AFC East at 3-1.
Well, Tampa Bay makes Trubisky look like world beater. It's like, what was that?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what, Mario? I'm glad you said that, because man, I just got so fired up about that game because of the fact that you took Fitz out of the game when you had a defense that's the worst defense, and the Trubisky's quarterback rating, his average went up 50 points, and his game rating went up 30 points. Again, how does that happen in one game? Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The parity is just sick. That team quit, actually.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We got the same problem here in Tampa, Mario, is we have a horrible – we lost our defense back in the Sapp, Lynch, Barber era, and it's been gone ever since that. That Dungy defense is long gone. So that's a problem. Same here in Detroit. Mario, I keep saying it, but I want to ask you about Rocco. Do you know if he's up on the lake this weekend? He's ghosting us right here today. He might be up on the lake.
He might be.
Rocco might be up on the lake. So that's your upset, Mario. Anything else that we should be looking for this week?
I got to get inside and take a look. I'm just getting home. I just took my daughter to work, so I'm going to get settled in. And
nice. Well,
figure out everything.
Mario, thanks for the call, buddy. And make it a normal, man. It'd be great to have both the Primo brothers on. We got to set you guys up a little studio, the Primo Brothers studio. That'd be fun. All right, Mario, have an awesome Sunday. Tell the family that I give them the best, and we'll talk to you soon.
Go Lions, Mario. Go Lions.
Great show, guys.
Yep. Take care, boy.
Bye-bye.
Chris.
All right. We're running short on time. You want to go through the list now and see who we have?
Yeah, I was waiting.
you-
I was going to wait because we traditionally did it with Rocco. It was the traditional run through. I guess we probably could have kept Mario on the line and just went through with Mario,
you could have
one of the Primo brothers. You know, that's what we should have done.
Mario, call back.
Call
back. We'll let you pick for Mario.
We are going to do that. I'm literally going to call him back right now because he's going to take Rocco's spot on this. So let's call Mario back, and he's going to take a. Let's see.
He's probably not going to answer.
He's going to answer.
So
hang on.
Hello.
Mario, you're back live on the Leepa Live Sports Show.
We missed you, brother. We missed you.
Right when I hung up with you, we do our traditional run through, and Rocco's been part of our run through. We go right through every game, and you call your pick out. So you're taking your brother's spot today, and we're going to run through all these games, and you're going to give the picks for us. How about that?
Love it.
All right. Let's just get right into it. All right. We're going to go right up. Titans against the Bills. The Titans are at the Bills. Mario.
Titans all day.
Yep. Chris.
Titans.
And I'm going Titans. Moving right along. That's three of us on the Titans. Moving right along. Big game here. Falcons at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mario.
Ooh, this was going to be my upset. I got to go Steelers. It's weird. I'm going to go Steelers.
Steelers at home. All right, that's a good pick, though, but it is a tough game. Chris.
I've got the Atlanta Falcons scoring 5 or 6 touchdowns today. So I'm taking Atlanta.
Wow. I'll tell you this right now.
Better at home.
Say again, Mario.
Somehow Pittsburgh plays better at home.
They
That's
do
the only
play.
reason I'm going with it.
They do play better at home. I got to tell you this right now. It's just a matter of time before it happens. I know Pittsburgh and the Falcons only have one win. And Pittsburgh will be the team at the end of this game that still has one win. I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons. Moving right along here. Here's a fun game. The Broncos at the Jets. Mario.
Wow.
Yeah, that about sums it up.
I'll take Denver.
Chris.
Denver.
And I'm also taking Denver here. I think that one, you never know what you're going to get from both of the teams, especially the Jets at home, but we're all three going Denver. Here's another really, really tough game. Mario, the Jaguars are at Kansas City, and if you didn't hear it before on the show, it's going to be a rainy day in Kansas City. Not that could make a big difference, but Jaguars at KC. Mario.
Is Fournette in or out?
I saw that he was out.
Chris read the stat that he's still out.
He's out. Oh, boy, that's ugly, too. Let's see what Mahomes can do. I'll go KC.
Chris?
I am going Jaguars on this one. My prediction is Mahomes throw his first interception of the year, and it is a pick 6 today.
I'll tell you what, Chris and I have had a lot of differences. And if I'm going to gain ground on them, this would be my chance to gain ground on them. But I can't very well gain ground on this game because I want to call him a rookie, but he's not a rookie. Second-year quarterback is going up against the number 1 defense. And if it comes down to a running game and it comes down to a defense, even though you don't got Fournette in there, I'm looking for the Jaguars to come in to KC and upset KC in this game. So I'm going Kansas City. Wow. That was a...
Which is it?
That was a Freudian...
I had it written in pen.
That was a Freudian slip.
I had it written in pen.
I almost want to switch right now because of the Freudian slip. You know what?
There you go.
I tell you what. Scratch the Jags on this. I'm going Casey at home in the rain. You're looking at a future Hall of Fame quarterback in this kid. Let's get a running game behind him in the rain to support this kid. Woo, man.
That's right. I think this is his coming out for let's see what he has.
Yes, I think so too. Chris, what are you trying to show me on
I
camera?
switched it. I had it in pen. I had him as a Jag, but we switched it. I just need proof that he switched it so I win that game.
We already did our pick, guys, as far as the Lions Packers. Did we do the pick, Chris? Who did you take?
Yeah, we all went with the Lions.
We all went Lions. That is this is a proud moment on Leepa Live Sports right now. A proud moment.
Tear to the eye.
It's scary though, because that just means they lose.
Yeah, nobody's gaining ground.
I'm going back to the Packers. No, I'm not. I'm sticking with the Lions.
Okay, moving right along here. Ravens at the Browns. Mario.
Nice game.
Nice.
That's a nice game.
Yes.
Ooh,
Are you drinking the Baker Mayfield Kool-Aid, Mario?
I think I am.
You and me both.
I think he's the real deal over there. They finally got someone that took, 20?
Yeah.
They've had like 20 different quarterbacks.
First round picks. Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm going to give you something funny. Since 2008, hold on. I got to find it in my notes.
Chris is going through his notes. He's got a damn catalog on the show over here, Mario.
Did I erase
it?
I
think the saying, even the blind squirrel gets a nut every once in a while. I think that's what's going on over there.
Yeah, I know, and there's two meanings to that. Watch your mouth, I said. Chris, you're looking through your notes. What are you looking for before Mario gives his pick here?
Cleveland quarterbacks since 2008, I think it was. Tyrod Taylor, Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Kaiser, Kevin Hogan, RG3, Josh McDown, and Cody Kessler.
Wow. All first-round picks.
No.
Oh.
No, but those are the quarterbacks.
Right. Still, impressive.
RG3, McDown are the only two who are
Mario,
still in the league. So
you
got Taylor is. But
Baltimore Ravens coming into the Cleveland Browns, the new Cleveland Browns. Mario.
It comes down, I think, to what's the weather there?
I did not check the weather, and I do appreciate you calling me on it because I should be on top of that. The weather in Cleveland today. Cleveland weather. Let's see. Boom, 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 bam. Cleveland weather. Chris, did you make it there before me? No, he didn't.
66 and
66 is beautiful weather.
66 and cloudy.
And cloudy, but no rain.
Okay. Geez. That's got to be a low-scoring game. That's got to be a field goal game. Baltimore has the better kicker. Baltimore.
Wow. Okay, Chris.
I have Baltimore as well.
I do appreciate your guys' enthusiasm. I tried to find out who was drinking the Kool-Aid. I don't know what they put in there. It might have come from a cow field and some mushrooms or something like that. You're coming into the Baker Mayfield field. Baker Mayfield. Okay? That will be the new name of that stadium in the future.
There you go.
It'll be called That's what it'll be called. Mayfield.
You know what it's going to be called today, though?
What?
Tuckerville. Justin Tucker is going to go off.
I like that. It's going to be called Tuckerville today. I'm going with the Cleveland Browns home stance. I'm looking for an incredible game from Baker Mayfield today. Talk about Sims isn't going to tell him to be, a huddle guy and people motivating him because Baker Mayfield is that guy and he will become that guy more and more each week. I'm going with the Cleveland Browns. Moving right along here.
Baker,
the Giants. Sorry, Chris, what you say?
Nope.
Okay.
Baker may not field. Nope, not going to happen.
All right. Giants are at the Panthers. Chris, why don't you lead this one off?
I got to go with Cam Newton. Eli Manning hasn't done anything yet this year, and the Panthers' defense is that much better than the Giants' offense. But you never know. The Giants could explode at any time here. You got OBJ, you got Barkley, you got Eli Manning, who's got it. Talk about a blind squirrel catching it every once in a while. Eli Manning's got to throw some touchdowns to OBJ at some point here.
Right, I got you.
But I'm still taking the Panthers in that.
Okay, Mario, what do you got?
That's pretty well said. I can't stand Cam Newton personally.
Neither can I.
Neither can I.
And but damn, he gets it done.
He's a horse.
Yeah, Carolina, I'm not taking that one.
Let me just bring up on Thursday's show, that was Rocco's pick for upset of the week.
What
He had
was
the Giants taking the Panthers.
that? Was Rocco's upset of the week pick? He's picking the Giants. Okay. I'm not a Panther fan. First and foremost, you know that I'm a Buccaneer fan. I live in the Tampa Bay area, and I support wherever I live, regardless of where I was born, okay, where I grew up. It's where I'm living and paying my taxes first that I support, and it's much funner going to a game where you live, supporting the home team of that city. I'm not trying to say anything to you with your shirt on over there, pal, at all. I'm not. It has nothing to do with the shirt you're wearing today. But I do not like the Panthers. They're in the Tampa Bay division, which I'm always looking for losses when it comes to that. But that being said, Cam Newton's a horse. Watch, I'll get in trouble for saying he's a horse. You called him a horse. Oh, yeah.
Johnny the Greek. Johnny the Greek over there.
How about if I call him
You can't say that, John.
How about if I call him a mule? Yeah, he's a mule. Okay? He is a mule.
Do I need a mute button over here? I need a mute button over here before we get in trouble.
You know, I say it all the time. He's a horse, and I don't know why it's not yet. He's not. But he could be like the leading campaign guy for Crest toothpaste. Okay? This guy all talk like this. He's like, the guy can't even talk. It's like his job. He could, Cam, if you end up getting sponsored by Crest toothpaste, you got to cut me a husk because it was my idea with those pearly whites. But he's a horse, and he runs over people with a smile on his face. It's kind of crazy. But I'm going with the Panthers as well. Let's move right along
Cut
here.
you a husk.
Cut me a husk.
We'll give them 3 hoofs today.
Yeah. All right.
So
Dolphins.
You went with the Panthers.
I
right?
did go with the Panthers. Dolphins are at the Bengals. Mario, what do you think about this one? The Dolphins are 3-1. Some people just look at that and say, no, that shouldn't be. But they really are 3-1. And they're coming into Cincinnati.
Both teams firing on all cylinders, I think. Geez. Let's see is AJ Green healthy?
Yes.
AJ Green is playing. I don't know if he's healthy. He's playing.
They're on a roll, but they are who they are too. They always look like they're kind of like San Diego Chargers. They
that's a good.
And then lose 5 in a row. So
yeah.
That's another upsetter. I'll go Miami.
Wow, I like that upset. That actually, to me, is an upset pick too, and I like it. Chris,
You look at that game. It's 2 division leaders right now. As of what time are we at? 11:39. But they're heading in different directions. The Dolphins got a shot in reality.
Why are they heading in different directions?
Because one team's going to stay on top of the division, and one person's going to tied for the division and loses the tiebreaker, so they're not the division leader. So the Bengals win this game. The Dolphins got a reality check. They're not a 3-0 team.
Mario, if you don't know yet and haven't figured it out, it always comes back to the Patriots.
No, sure. I was slappy with the Patriots.
The only question I have in the next 4 games for the Bengals is how long does it take for Vontae Burfict to get suspended again for a cheap shot, especially with the way they're calling him right now.
Well, Chris, who are you taking?
I'm taking the Bengals.
Taking the Bengals. I'm backing that up right there. My redheaded brother from another mother. I'm telling you, the red rifle they call him, Mario. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Red rooster, red rifle, whatever you want.
Ooh. Whatever it is, I like it, and I'm going with the Bengals at home to beat the Dolphins. So, Mario, you're standing alone on that Dolphin pick. It's an aggressive pick. I like it.
What kind of points you looking at there?
I'm looking at a close scoring game, but I think that what's going to happen is that it's one of those games with the shootout. Whoever has the ball last, and I'm just looking at Andy Dalton at the end of the game. He's got AJ Green healthy, and I'm looking for a couple deep balls that are going to be game changers in this.
34-17 Bengals.
34-17 Bengals came from Chris. Chris, you sure about that?
Wow.
That's my pick, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, Mario, do you got a points idea on this?
I wouldn't think it's that lopsided. I'm thinking like 28-21, Miami.
Nice. Close game. Yep. So basically what you're saying is since he does get the ball at the end, but they're stopped by the Miami defense to come tie the game so that we thankfully don't have another tie.
What was your point on that, John?
My point?
Your points.
I just said it was going to be a close game. So I'm with Mario on that one. I think that's a good pick right there. It's a 28-21 game. I like that.
All right.
I like that's a great pick, actually. All right, let's move right along here. Mario, we have Oakland for the time being. Raiders at the Los Angeles. That is hard to say. And it's not new, but I almost said San Diego. It's Los Angeles Chargers. The Raiders at the Chargers, Mario.
Well, I don't like the Raiders. They're so iffy, wishy-washy. I got to go Chargers on that one all day.
Yeah.
I think the Chargers blow them out, actually.
Blow them out. You know, the Raiders, they're not as bad as they may seem. Well, at least not on paper anyway. But the blowout, it could be. Their defense is they're not horrible, but they're not great. It's the offense with the Raiders that surprises me. The offense with the Raiders, yeah, their defense is ranked 27th. Their offense is ranked 4th. Is that shocking or what?
What's San Diego's defense ranked?
22nd. Yeah. Now, Chris says stats don't matter. This is what Chris says.
Week to week, I know. The parody's crazy. It's just a game that feels like Chargers. I keep saying San Diego too.
Yep. It's Los Angeles. I know it's hard. Yeah. You grow up with a team like that. Chris.
So I think in this game that Phillip Rivers slices up that defense, that the Raiders cannot get a pass rush. They're for some reason still looking for a pass rush. They seem to have one in the preseason, but they don't have Mac anymore. So you got to go with the Chargers there.
You know, if this wasn't, if I didn't already pick the upset of the week, this could very well be considered an upset if Oakland comes into saying, I want to say San Diego again. If Oakland comes into LA, how's it going over there, San Diego fans with no football team? Jeez.
What's the running back's name over there in San Diego? I can't. What's his name?
In LA.
No, it's not Gurley. It's Melvin Gordon.
Gordon is correct, Chris. Melvin Gordon is correct.
Is he completely healthy?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because that guy's going to go off today for fantasy. That guy's going to go off.
Mario, you just totally solidified my pick there. I'm going with San Diego too. I don't think it's going to be a blowout here by any means. So, I think Carr got finally his confidence back, and this machine's rolling with Gruden right now. I think it's going to be a really exciting, high-scoring, close game. It's going to come down to Phillip Rivers having the ball in the end. I'm telling you, Phillip Rivers will have the ball at the end, and it will be a shotgun formation. If a running back gets the ball, he will get it by catching it. That's what I think.
Oh, yeah.
Only way the Raiders win this game is if Marshawn Lynch goes off and has 170 yards rushing.
Which he very well could. But 2 games in a row doing that?
No. I don't see it happening.
You're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's move right along here, Mario. The Cardinals are at the Niners. Oh, this is just such an exciting game, isn't it?
Can David Johnson do it today?
Well, that would be the key to me. Could he?
They're both like college teams. It seems like to me now. What happened to those teams?
You know what? This is gonna make it's gonna be the least watched football game of the week, but it's probably gonna be one of the better games because they're both so bad.
Right. It might be 50.
It could be a really good game. We might have the wrong games picked here of what's going to be a good game. Think about it. There are two teams that are struggling with backup quarterbacks that are now playing. They're starting now, but they didn't start to begin the season, and they're both not good teams, and both looking to say, "Hey, I'm not the worst team in the NFL."
Well, the thing about it though, is shockingly, is that the Cardinals are the worst rushing team in the NFL.
Right. So that guy's so due. I mean,
he is so due. And is this the offensive coordinator? I mean, I didn't dig deep into the stats to see how many carries he has. Maybe Chris can check that out.
Well, the problem is they're playing from behind.
Right, but can we check, Chris? Can you check for me and see how many carries Johnson has? How many attempts he has?
Yeah, he's got to be in game shape by now.
Yeah, because that's what's curious to me is it actually the fact that his game has dropped off, or is this the play calling that's going on here and you forgot about how to pound that ball when you have the running back there to do it with? I mean, that to me is what I really want to know is it the play call here?
I mean, he should be a dump off machine today. He should have at least 10 catches today. I'd be surprised if he had less than 10 catches.
Yes, Chris.
So Johnson's, and remember, he's a pass catching running back, but he's got 56 attempts for 187 yards, averaging 3.3 yards. He's got
wait a second.
Two rushing TDs.
Hang on, Chris. All right, you said 56, 4, 10. Okay,
we don't do math on this show.
Well, I'm doing the math a little bit because that's really not getting too many touches as far as running.
Yeah, but they're playing from behind. He's not going to get the rushing touches when they're playing from behind.
Okay,
they're 0-4, and they can't get. Their game is get the lead and run it and throw short passes to David Johnson, and they haven't done that.
Hence
that's why he's not getting the ball.
This
is the week where he should get going. They should get a lead against San Francisco. You should see him have a breaking game.
Hence the 0-4.
That being said, I'm taking the Niners.
0-4. 0-4. Chris, that was enthused. You got enough coffee going on right. That wasn't one of the best enthusiastic picks you've had. You like this game right here today. Oh, he's going for
more coffee. More Java. Yeah, you know what? I wrote down in my notes it's going to be the game that nobody watches, and I do think it's going to be one of the better games. I don't know anything about C.J. Burkhart. I know he started a couple games I think last year, but he played well last week. They didn't get the win. Their running game needs to get started. I think they can beat them. I'm not a fan.
They're of the six. The Niners are ranked 6th running.
I look at these two teams and I'm just not a fan of the rookie quarterbacks yet. Okay. I'm on the Kool-Aid for Mayfield. I don't like Darnold. I don't like Allen. I don't like Rawson. So I'm going with the Niners here.
Mario.
Arizona's still got one of the best receivers ever. Is Fitzgerald good?
Damn good. Damn good.
He's banged up, but he's got 15 catches for 141 yards. So that's that's 4 catches a game.
The whole damn team is due. They're all due.
You're right. Mario, you're right.
I'm going Arizona just on that.
Just on the fact that they're due. You know what? Mario.
Yeah.
I am with you 100% on this pick here. They're due as due comes. And it was a clear message, in my point of view, to the offensive coordinator. I won't be surprised if we see a change. I will not be surprised. You know what they're going to do? They're going to pound the ball down their throat for the first 2 quarters, regardless of the score, and establish the run so they can free up the pass. And guess who's going to get it? Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yep.
You're right.
Johnson, he's got to touch the ball 25 times a day. I mean, come on.
Wow. All right, here we go.
You know, John, for Thursday's show, I think we're getting to the point where we can start talking about teams that need to start firing coaches. And you look at this Arizona Cardinals team, You look at the Bucks. I think we got two leading contenders.
Thank you
right
for
there.
saying the Bucks. I've been calling for that for 2 years.
You know, the Bucks are so glad that they have the bye week right now, so we're really not talking about them.
Let's fire them right now.
Then you got my vote.
Is it that they're all inept, or do they not see it? I mean, they're the closest ones to it.
Mario, it's so different here in Florida, and the reason why is because we're a melting pot. You can be the worst team and sell seats to the Detroit Lions.
Right? Yeah. I know what that's about.
You know what I mean? We got Chicago fans here. We got Detroit fans here. We got Vikings fans here. Oh, by the way, sitting right over here, we also have,
I like the Bucks.
you
know what? The thing of it is here that fans of football in the Florida and the South are not as big of fans of NFL football as they are college football.
What are you talking about? Everybody is coming from up north. Weren't they fans up north?
But think about it. Look at Saturdays when you walk down the streets. You see Florida shirts, FSU shirts, USF shirts, UCF shirts now. Who am I forgetting? Miami. Miami. It's it's a never-ending college. It's a college football area.
It is.
And we have 3 NFL teams.
You're right.
On top of it, you got 3 NFL teams. It's like it's overload in Florida.
Well, I appreciate the 3 NFL teams here because it is a huge. Our state's like this long, and I mean our state is. We don't even get rock and roll shows that happen here because they don't want to come down here and have to turn around and go all the way back out. I mean, it's almost like a bye week for bands.
I need to go off on a little tangent here.
Uh-oh.
So we've got 2 baseball teams. The Bucks finished. What's their name? The Rays finished. The Rays finished strong. The Marlins, they're useless.
The Marlins have Jeter over there that's going to rebuild something.
Yeah, whatever. So you have those for your baseball teams. You have 3 football teams in the Jags, Bucks, and Dolphins. Then what's our other sport we have? We got
hockey.
We have the Florida Panthers. So the best pro team in Florida is a hockey team in the Tampa Bay Lightning. We live in Florida, and the best sport we can put out is a hockey team, where you play a sport on ice in the hottest place in the U.S.
Hey, Stanley needed a tan. Mario, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Isn't that where Stevie Y is?
There you go.
Yeah, well, technically, no, not anymore.
Well,
he's going to be back up in Detroit next year.
Did he say that?
He will be.
Yeah. Mario, I think you guys got the new hockey arena there. And I think that you guys probably commissioned a little bit to get the Stevie Y back in Detroit. He did step down to a lesser position a few weeks ago, which is unfortunate. Well, I'm with you, Mario. Yeah, you got Steve Eiserman in your front office making calls on the players he brings here. I mean, it's no doubt why he stepped down.
The guy's a winner. He's always been a winner.
Absolutely. Look at I had someone call me out when I said Detroit was hockey town a few shows ago. Hello, it's hockey town.
Yeah, it is.
So Mario,
and we don't have a hockey team right now, so it's like
I know, but
I really think Eiserman will be back there next year. You know, they said it was to be with his family and all. Who's still up there? I think you'll see him have something to do with the Detroit hockey team up there, the Red Wings.
Imagine that reunion, Mario. Imagine that.
It wouldn't. There's nothing bigger that could happen to the Red Wings.
Yeah, I think you guys should probably. You heard it here first.
The only other bigger thing would be is if Dombrowski came back to the Tigers.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, Mario, let's move along here. Me and Mario took the Cardinals to go into the 49ers and beat the 49ers. All right, here we go. How about this game right here, Mario? The Vikings are at the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
You should see Chris's face when I say Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, it looks like
Earl
they're
Thomas
back
to you,
on
baby.
track.
Earl Thomas, right at you.
Philly looks like they're back on track. Minnesota, could they do it? Could they do it? Is it raining in Philly?
I don't have a weather report.
You're killing me with these weather stats. Come on. It's football.
Hey,
What the heck?
Mario, it's hilarious that you're asking because just before we went live, I was talking to Chris and I go, look, I want to add weather to the. Remember way back in the day with Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, and everything, where they had the weather girl that was on the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little eye candy, wasn't it?
72 and cloudy.
72 and cloudy football weather, Mario.
All right, break out the wet spot shower.
Yeah, there's a little inside information there. All right. Good. All right, so 72 and cloudy in Philadelphia. Mario, what's your pick?
See, I say that because if it was raining, it would just rain here. I didn't know if it was going down there, and then it would become a running game. But Philly has the better quarterback, so Philly.
I'm actually with you on that one. I'm taking Philly. Chris?
I got Philly as well. The Vikings are without the running back, so they're going to have to rely on Latavius Murray. John, who did you have in that Cardinals-Niners game? I didn't get that right.
I took the Cardinals. I went right with Mario on that. They're due 100%. They're going to change the whole offense. They're going to run the ball right down the 49ers' throat. That's why I went them. So, Chris, you're taking the Eagles as well on this one.
Yeah, I got Carson Wentz in fantasy. I need him to have 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Oh, it comes back to your fantasy.
Well, we're going to have a fantasy show next year with me, you, Rocco, Mario.
Yep.
And everybody that's been calling in.
Hey, Mario, how about that? A fantasy show on here for next year.
That sounds really good.
That'll be fun.
We'll get it going.
Yeah, I want to do one that's actually at a different, that's at kind of a different time and competitive time too. I want to be in there competing against some of these other shows. So I want to put us in a competitive time slot.
You better start competing with your picks, brother.
Hey, my picks.
Do it from like 12:30 to 1.
12:30 to 1 would be so awesome. 12:30 to 1 fantasy. Mario, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I'm sorry, Terry Bradshaw. I'm sorry, Howie Long and the rest of the cast over there. Who's Michael Strahan and who else have they got sitting at the end of the table over there?
They're a bunch of fatheads.
Mario, what's in your coffee out today?
So here we go. Rams are at the Seahawks. Mario.
Ooh. Seahawks are tough at home always. Rams are on fire, I think. I think the Rams take it to them and embarrass them.
I think that's a pretty good pick. Chris, talk to me.
This is actually one of the games where I was thinking about changing, but
you were?
Yeah, I have the Rams, and I'm going to stick with it. The Seahawks D. I just don't know what to think of them anymore. I like that they're at home. I don't think this game will be a blowout, but I still think the Rams win it.
Okay, and you just don't know what to think about this. It's very,
Seahawks D, yeah.
Right. And it's one of the things, and you mentioned it earlier, Chris, about these stats, and you're not really knowing where the stats come from. And maybe they got the good front on the Seahawks D, and their defense is ranked seventh, but it's the secondary that probably scares you. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. Losing Earl Thomas is a huge loss for them.
Yeah. And then, of course, they did away with some trades as well. So, yeah. I'm with you 100% on this one. I'm going with the Rams to beat.
Big Cooper Cup day. Big Cooper Cup day.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah,
Cooper
definitely.
Cup day.
Yeah. Hey, John, I'm just seeing here that the Bills are expected to sign veteran QB Derek Anderson to back up rookie Josh Allen.
I thought Anderson was a kicker.
No, Derek Anderson, not Morton Anderson. Morton Anderson's like 85 years old now.
Hey,
Right.
Morton Anderson could have played for a couple teams at the beginning of this year.
You know what? He might be he might be better than Josh Allen and Morton
He can
Anderson.
score again.
He probably has more touchdown passes.
So Anderson is being picked up by the Bills, you said,
Yeah.
as a backup quarterback.
Yeah, they're trying to get a veteran in. All the quarterbacks they have there are young guys
Right.
in Peterman and AJ McCarron.
Deer in the headlights.
Yeah, it actually makes sense. So
yeah. Mario, did you take the Rams on this game?
Oh, yeah, I'm taking the Rams.
Okay. All right, let's move along here. Cowboys are at the Texans. It's the 8 p.m. game tonight. The Cowboys go into, it's an in-state rival here. So Dallas Cowboys going into the Houston, Texas. Mario, who do you got on this one?
Battle of the Lone Star State.
Yes, sir.
Those games, like Chris was saying earlier, Texas is all about football. It's high school football. It's everything football down there.
It is.
They're going to beat the hell out of each other.
Yes.
I think that Houston's quarterback's the difference. I think Houston pulls that out.
Good call on that one. I'm going to go ahead and make my pick right with you right now. I'm definitely going to take the home team in this because the little bit of the home crowd, the 12th man on the field, is going to definitely make a difference in this game. I think today, I never know when Ezekiel Elliott's going to go off, and when he does, he's effective. But I think with it being a home game and with the defense that has the potential to get so much better, I'm looking for the Texans to pull it off at home, even though those Dallas Cowboys defense is looking pretty damn good this year. It's kind of crazy because you're looking at the Texans who have not done what they were supposed to do yet this year. They just have not. And then you got the Cowboys sitting at 2-2. And so it's close, but I got to say, this is when the Texans, if you're going to do something, you got to do it now. What better time to do it than the in-state rivalry? Chris? Chris is studying.
I'm still trying to find out if Morton Anderson scored any touchdowns to have more than Josh Allen does. What game are we talking about, Chris?
We're talking about Cowboys.
Texans. You know what? The Texans D is starting to play like they should. J.J. Watt's looking better and better. They're not going to. The Cowboys, they haven't been able to throw the ball. I think in their last 6 games, they've averaged like 130 yards throughout passing in their last 6 away games. And that's not going to cut it against the Houston Texans.
I couldn't agree with you more.
How did the Cowboys traditionally do against like a Michael Vick?
I couldn't answer you that. But I do appreciate your enthusiasm in keeping us up on our stats. I do appreciate that. Woo, we're going to have to get a double intern.
We don't talk about that here.
They haven't seen a quarterback like this yet.
All right, Chris doesn't want to talk New England Patriots anymore.
No, I don't want to talk about that.
Oh.
Or Colin Kaepernick.
Woo! Chris putting it right out there. He's got 2 players he won't talk about. I like it. Yeah, from the fans' perspective, this show's from the fans' perspective. We're not backing up any major labels yet.
Who are the 2 players
that he won't talk about? He's kind of saying it under his breath a little bit. So I don't know if he wants to say it loud or not, but
Michael Vick and Colin Kaepernick.
Okay.
He's putting it out there. You can't blame the guy for coming right out and saying who he don't like. They got a pretty good idea of why.
You know what? I can find out if Morton Anderson's married, but I can't figure out if he ever scored a TD.
Say again, Mario.
You got to admit that Houston quarterback's a little bit like the human joystick.
I have not heard that reference in a very long time. The human joystick. Wow. Nice. Yeah, he actually is, Mario. You're correct on that. So it's going to be exciting. I'm going with the Texans at home. Chris is going with the Texans, right?
Yep.
And Mario, you're going with the Texans. Let's move right along. Monday night, are you ready for some football? sometimes the most exciting thing on those games is the intro to the games. But
Right.
going into this game, it's the Redskins are visiting the New Orleans Saints. Mario.
Woo. Breezy, baby. That guy's just getting better and better. And Alvin Kamara's a beast. Michael Thomas. Washington doesn't. If Washington wins this game, there's your parody. I mean, it's fixed.
You know, I'll tell you, Chris made a prediction earlier that Breeze comes up into the 500 club. He needs 4 touchdowns this game to get into the 500 club. And I think Chris called for him. How many touchdowns did you say, Chris?
I said he'd get 4. I'd say he'd come tie with Brady.
I thought you said he'd get 5 and pass.
No, that was Matty Ice. Matty Ice, I said, would have 5 or 6.
Oh, okay.
But one of the names you didn't bring up was, I'm going to go to the Patriots. We saw how much Edelman helped. No.
Time out.
This is a good point. It's a good point.
Here we go, Mario. I'm sorry.
We saw what Julian Edelman coming back to the Patriots did. He made them a better team. The New Orleans Saints get Mark Ingram back.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Look at that.
You're seeing these players come off these 4-game suspensions. You got Burkhead for the Bengals, Edelman for the Patriots. I think the big one there is for New Orleans. They're playing great offensive football, and Ingram only makes them better. It gives them that power running back that Kamara isn't.
They're unstoppable last year with that.
He takes any chance he can to bring up the Patriots, but I got to admit that time he used it very well.
You were gonna have to go to like week 8 or 9 when they have their bye, and then I'll try and not say anything, and that's still.
I was actually ready to call an NBA 20-second timeout on that one, and that's going to be my new thing is coming. It's the NBA 20-second timeout. But
So Edelman got through his 4-game suspension. He's all juiced up, ready to go.
That's right. Yeah, Rocco.
He will not be deflated by the suspension.
That's a good one, Chris, for your very old Patriots. This game is actually going to be a blowout in my eyes. You guys are exactly on cue on this one. I agree with you with Drew Brees getting into the 500 club, and what a crowd to be with in the 500 club. You're going to be with Brady. You're going to be with Favre. You're going to be with Manning. Those 3 right there. Wow. I mean, these are the best quarterbacks of our era by far. But Drew Brees, can you imagine that the Chargers got rid of Drew Brees because he hurt his shoulder?
Right.
I mean, and look at this guy, huh? Wow.
And he's like the seniorest quarterback in the league.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more.
You were talking about his touchdowns. Isn't he going for the most yards thrown too?
Right.
I think so. I think he's up in the running for that.
He is.
I think he passed it.
He passed it last week.
I think so.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
You're right. He did pass it last week. I'm going with the Saints on this. Chris, you're going with
Saints.
You're going with the Saints. Mara, you're going with the Saints. That wraps up our week of football. Pretty exciting to watch that one, and happy for Drew Brees to have 2 quarterbacks, okay, in 2 weeks going into the 500 club. That says a lot about this era as far as quarterbacks go. So, I mean, wow.
40 is the new 20.
And you know what? All 4 of the quarterbacks that are going to be in the 500 club all competed against each other. They were all from the same era. It's impressive. Very impressive. With that being said, this show, I'll tell you what, right now, this show has taken quite the extension on this. Mario, how much time we went over on this show? It's impressive. We were supposed to be done at 11:30. Thank you for coming along for the ride.
Here's a stat right here. The 3 best players in the NFL are all from Michigan. Tom Brady, Michigan. Antonio Brown, Eastern Michigan. Le'Veon Bell, Michigan State, baby. Michigan rules everything.
Wow. I love that stat right there. Michigan. You're right. They breed them. No doubt about that. That's a
And
great
now the
stat.
Wolverines are
That is a
back.
pretty good stat.
Here's something that's kind of I want to end the show on here, if I may. Let's see here if I can. Chris, let me let you go ahead in your closing before I decide to end the show in a little bit of a different way. So, Chris, in closing,
In closing, I mean, like I said at the beginning of the show, I mean, I'm looking down the picks here, and we agreed on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the games, which leaves 6 games that we're really kind of up in the air on. And Steelers Falcons we disagreed on, Jags Chiefs we disagreed on, Ravens Browns we disagreed on, Dolphins Bengals we disagreed on, Cardinals 49ers. I'm going to have the Reds have to have the Red Zone channel on because there's just too many good games to watch today. There really is, and there's 3 good 1 o'clock games and there's 2 good 4 o'clock games. So it's going to be a fun day of football today. My wife's not going to like not seeing me today.
Hey, you got the stats from last week in front of you? The wins and losses?
Yeah, give me a sec.
he actually does. Look at this, Maury. You got to dig. Look at there. You digging.
All right, we got Mario and John were both 7 and 8 last week.
Hey, it was a tough week, Mario. Who would have known, right? Who would have known?
It was.
Well, what? It wasn't for the other two.
Uh-oh.
I went 9 and 6, and then Brother Rocco went 10 and 5 to win the week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Rocco had a good week last week. I mean, who were the surprises he kind of took? He took the Seahawks where we had the Cardinals.
Mario, you're right in on this now 2 weeks in a row on the pick. So I think that what we're going to have to do is we'll bring you right up to date with us, but you're going to have to take on those first weeks, you're going to have to take whatever the lowest person on the show got. Fair enough?
Sounds good.
Did you make – well, let me ask you this. For the first 3 weeks, did you happen to make picks?
Yeah,
no.
he picked all winners.
Yeah. Yeah, I was 16 and 0 in all 3 weeks.
Right.
But, hey, we're going to keep you right up on this, Mario.
Yes, sir.
If you enjoy it, then keep calling in because we certainly do. You've made for a good show for us today, so I appreciate that.
Glad.
Check this out before you go. I want you to see something. I want Chris to see this too. Don't forget about what else we have going on, guys. It is postseason playoff baseball. Jeez, I can't get away from football. Don't forget about baseball. We're going to end up bringing a show on, and very soon, put the word out there, Mario. We're looking for people that want to host a baseball show through the playoffs here. It's going to get exciting. So put the word out for that. I just wanted to put the word out myself. We're looking for some hosts. We're looking for some people that want to host a baseball show through the most exciting time of the year in baseball after 162 long games. Now we're getting into the fun time of it. So putting it out there right now. Anybody that would like to be part of an MLB baseball show. Look at Chris over here. Chris, we're going to hear nothing but Boston. You know it right now. All right, Chris.
Who you got, Boston or New York?
Who you got, Chris?
Don't even ask me that question. That's insulting.
Hey,
Boston.
I think Boston's the better team, but I'll tell you this right now. You want to make it an exciting one?
Hey.
It will be exciting because this is an exciting series no matter what. I don't care what happened in the regular season, okay? This is an exciting series no matter what. And so I'm just looking forward to going all the way. I'm looking for some good close games, and I want to see. Now, what's going to happen after that when you got your foot on the gas in the playoffs? It's almost like you wish that was the World Series, which it can't be, but still, you look at it and you're saying, wow, this is an exciting round of playoff baseball.
Yeah, I think I'm going to look at the Red Sox-Yankees series because that's the big series. I think, at least to me, obviously to me for reasons because I'm a Red Sox fan. But this rivalry is the best rivalry in baseball. This should go 5 games, and pitching's going to win the game. And the Red Sox need to get that figured out because David Price has not done them well in the playoffs. He needs to get out of his head. Baseball is such a game of it when you get in your head, it can cripple you. And I think David Price just needs to overcome that in playoff baseball.
Sorry, Chris. I was sitting here with the camera on me, daydreaming the whole time you gave that beautiful speech, and it was great. You're absolutely right, Chris. So fair enough to you. Now I'm going to talk while you're on camera. How's that?
Listen, this is another Detroit problem with the Tigers. You
Talk
look
to
at
me.
that series of Boston and the Yankees, check your stats of how many ex-Tigers are on those teams.
Yeah.
I know, Mario.
It's like we're the farm club for the damn league.
You are, but these teams are starting to figure it out, and they're starting to do the Joe Madden rule with learning how to work the farm club and developing players. And no better manager in my eyes in baseball than the Chicago Cubs now coach, what used to be our Rays coach, who took the Rays in the division against New York and Boston. And wow, for 5 years there, talk about scratching your head. You had $225 million on rosters against the $70 million roster of the Rays, and we were taking it to the World Series. So,
yeah,
I mean,
as Rays fans, we can feel your pain as a Detroit fan.
We can.
The Rays right now ending the season strong. It's great, but in 3 years, none of those players will be on the team because their contracts will be up. They'll be traded and they'll rebuild again.
We're the farm club for the whole entire MLB, Mario.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at that Cubs lineup from last year.
Detroit, they didn't need Max Scherzer, they didn't need Verlander, and they didn't need JD Martinez. Enough said about the Detroit Tigers, right?
Thank you for JD Martinez, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey,
he's only up them.
I'll tell you what. Surprisingly enough, this is a preview of our baseball show. Can you believe this? I had no idea. I had no idea.
Oh, I thought the baseball show went 12 to 12:30.
I'm saying.
I thought we were already on to the baseball show.
I had no idea. We
have a football show? Here, it's just baseball. We're just baseball now. Red Sox.
All right. Mario, hang in with us right to the end. Follow us through to the end here on this show. I'm going to run through a couple quick important things right here. Here you go, folks. If you want to like our page, you go on Facebook and like our page on Facebook at Leepa Live. If you have not yet done that, go to Facebook, find Leepa Live, and like us there. Moving right along with that, if you want to be part of the show, just like Mario, just like Rocco, just like Shrek, just like Matt. Matt's his name, right, Chris? Dave. Sorry, Dave. Dave, forgive me on that one. Just like Dave, Rocco, Mario, Shrek. Don't forget about, we haven't had the masked man on here in a few, this is 2 weeks now?
Yeah, this is week 2.
Sports Maniac, and what was he, the snake the one time?
Yeah, the slithering snake.
The slithering snake. Hey, if you want to be part of the show, do what these guys have done to get on the show. Go to leapalive.com and find the register button. Click the register button so that we know that you're not spam and that you're not someone trying to come on here and sell used cars. And register with us. We'll let you on the show no matter who you're a fan of. Just a sports fan. That's all you need to be on this show. Don't miss the next episode. The best place to watch this is at leapalive.com. There's a whole bunch of extra features there for you. And you're going to enjoy the site because there's a lot of things to come on Leepa Live. We have independent films coming very soon. We have independent music coming very soon. You'll be able to sit on the couch with your family or by yourself with a big container of popcorn and your favorite soft drink to go with it and watching independent films from 5 p.m. till 2 a.m. in the morning. Can you imagine that all for free right here on Leepa Live? Whew! Wow!
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think I need a little shot of Gatorade after that one. Mario, it's been a pleasure, man. Enjoy your Sunday football. Track down Rocco Primo for us and make sure you can get the picks. We're going to have to at one time. I'll message him, but I got to get his picks at one time here today. Wait, did I get Rocco's picks? No, we didn't get him on Thursday, did we, Chris?
Yeah, we had him. He picked the Rams. Or
Yeah,
no,
but-
that was the week before. Hold
But
on.
we didn't get the rundown of Rocco on all games.
No, we just had his.
And this will be
picks.
the first week we did not get. So we'll get that.
We'll get them before
All right.
1 o'clock.
All right, Mario. Have an awesome Sunday football, man. We're looking forward for you calling up on the next show.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. I had a great time. You and Chris enjoy the day.
Enjoy those games today, man.
Yes, good luck.
All right, Rocco. Or Mario. We'll talk to you soon.
If it ends in O, it's good.
Yeah, buddy. All right. We'll talk to you soon for another episode of Leepa Live. Chris, enjoy your football Sunday, my friend. I think we're going to go over there to the Johnnies, aren't we?
Yeah. You know, I usually end by saying go Pats, but since they don't play till a week from Sunday, go Red Sox.
I like it. And for me, what I'm going to say is I am going to say go Lions. Go Lions.
I'm with you on that. Go Lions.
I hope you are.
Go Lions and go Jags.
That was the roar in the background. Mario with the Go Lions.
That
Yes.
sounded like a serious case of indigestion over there.
All right, guys.
Down the field.
Oh my! Is that the theme song?
Yeah,
Mario, do you know the theme song?
I don't. I only know a little bit of it.
Because
It's so dumb.
Cliff Alcantara, another Detroit boy, he sang me the whole Detroit theme song word for word. I never had heard it.
Cliff's the man. Cliff's the man.
We're getting Cliff on the next show to sing that song. Because,
Perfect.
I mean, that show's been around probably 100 years if you listen to it. He knows it word for word.
At least.
He's also a season ticket holder.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know that. All right, we're out from Leepa Live here in the Tampa Bay studios today. Everybody enjoy your football Sunday, and we will see you Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Enjoy, my friends. Enjoy.
Later, fellas.
Peace out.